Welcome back. Mojo Sports episode 51. We're deep in NBA playoffs. We're deep in NHL playoffs. We had a great UFC card this weekend, and today's Mother's Day. So shout out to all the mothers out there. Shout out to my mother. Shout out to Joe's mother. Shout out to, I don't know, Diana Rossini. She's a mother, right?
Yeah.
So love for
Yeah. Yeah, that story just won't die, huh? It's like every new week TMZ's just putting something out that nobody ever thought of. I mean, it's at this point it's damning, right? Like there's not really we're just waiting for the tell all at this point.
Yeah, it seems to get worse every day. Every time I open up Twitter, there's something new about it. And a lot of people are just wondering, will this even affect Vrabel at any
I
point?
know. I know. I just don't think it will, right? Like there's no way it does.
I don't think so. It has nothing to do with football.
No. It's just going to be the constant joke, but that's about it.
Yeah, like if there was a rule where you can't cheat on your wife in the NFL,
Be no
we
more
wouldn't have any wide receivers.
Yeah.
Where
Or
would
head
all the wide
coaches.
receivers go? Yeah.
Yeah. Or ownership or GMs or I have a
The
feeling
only
it's a
thing
little
you would
more
have
prevalent.
left would be offensive line. You would just
Yeah.
have a bunch of linemen out there.
Yeah. I was gonna say kickers, but that's that was proven untrue too. You know, we got a little tuck
What
action
happened
with
with
that
that?
one.
Oh,
What do you
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
the tuck scandal. How
The
could I
old rub and
forget?
tuck.
Yeah, he went further than cheating. Was he married?
Oh
Probably,
yeah.
right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Kids. Yeah, the whole works.
Okay. Well, yeah, I guess
Nobody's
just
safe.
linemen, though. Nobody's safe. We also had the draft lottery today for the NBA. So, NBA lottery, Wizards won the lottery. So we'll see who they go with. I think a lot of people think they're going AJ DeBonsa, which means Darren Peterson probably falls to 2, which I think right now the Jazz have. The most shocking part of the NBA like draft, if you look at it, is that the Thunder have 2 picks in the top 17.
Yeah.
And they
Just
are far and away the best team in the league. It's not even close.
yeah.
And this is why we have a tanking problem. This is
Yep.
every team saw what they did and they were like, well, wait, I'm just going to do that.
Yeah.
And now Adam Silver's trying to nerf the tanking. So then it's like, I don't know, are the Thunder just the last great dynasty that's going to be able to do this?
Yeah, it does seem like there's a problem that they got to fix because it got the last like half of the season. I don't watch regular season NBA, but from my Twitter sources, it seemed like it was pretty bad.
Yeah, terrible. But draft is loaded, so I'm excited to actually. I didn't even watch last year's draft. Was it last year or the year before? But there was one draft within the last couple of years. Not last year. Last year was Cooper Flag. Year before that was just a bunch of foreigners that
Yeah,
I was not familiar with their game. And to be honest, haven't really panned out besides like Wemby. Wemby's been like the last great, but like yeah, that was kind of a buzzkill of a draft. This one though is going to be electric. I mean, I looked at a mock draft today, and Acuff's not even going in the top 5 in the mock draft, and Acuff's an absolute dog.
I know. I think there's going to be a little resurgence of fresh blood in the NBA, which will be fun. Some bigger name dudes. I feel like there's been some foreign guys, obviously, that have come over, but one of my favorite clips is the Porzingis when he got drafted, and the guy's just pissed. He's like, who the fuck is this?
He said he doesn't even have a fucking green card.
Yeah.
It's like some New York guy. Yeah. Between that one and then Jokic.
Yeah.
Jokic getting drafted mid Taco Bell commercial, the big quesarito, and you just see his name at the ticker. The pick is in. It's just all time.
Yeah. No, it should be good though. I mean, the NBA, it'll still be tough for me to do the 82 games, but you know, hopefully we get some good storylines. And I'm excited to see some of those guys because they were awesome throughout the college basketball season. And that's the best part of college basketball is you get to see some of those guys kind of take off. And with the foreign, you know, leagues and guys coming over, I feel like that's been a little bit lost. You're seeing some of those guys where it's just like you never watched a single second of them play. and then all of a sudden it's like, holy shit, this guy's a lottery pick. Like, all right, yeah, take it. Should have come over
Yeah.
and play for Duke or UNLV maybe.
Well, that's the new white whale, right? I mean, that's what these colleges are doing, trying to get these kids in, especially now that they can pay them a lot of
Oh
money.
yeah,
'Cause, I mean, we look at DeBonsa, he was making, I think, $7 million this year
yeah,
at BYU, which is insane. Which, speaking of
disgusting.
which, Jeremiah Love, he signed his contract. He's the highest paid running back in the NFL as a rookie. Hasn't taken a snap yet. He said he's not even going to touch that money.
Yeah.
The money, he said he made so much money in college that he's very well off right now, and he's just going to invest it all and give it to basically his family.
So insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah. The
can.
money is
It's a
different.
I feel like maybe we'll get a wave of early retirements now. It's like play a couple years in the NFL, get your first deal, and then just fuck it. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go do
Honestly.
something else.
Yeah. Another cool thing I saw this week was the UFL. Okay. I don't know if you saw this, but the UFL, they did something that a lot of people are saying, hey, NFL, you should check this out. They interviewed a referee mid-game. Like, you
That's
know how
sick.
they do the sideline
Yep.
interviews? They did one with a ref and asked him about a no call that he had where a lot of people thought it was pass interference. And he was basically like, yeah, I'm watching. The guy threw a back shoulder fade. And he said it was a bad ball. Like it just wasn't the right spot. But it ends up turning into like pass interference because it was such a bad throw. And the the interviewer was like, so you basically aren't going to reward him for throwing a bad throw. And the ref just kind of like looked and was like, yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, let's go with that. And then he asked like a follow up, and the ref was like, I gotta go. He just like walked off.
That was the shittiest pass I've ever seen. They're not getting a call for that.
Yeah, I kind of respect that though. I like
Uh,
that.
We need the ref helmet cam, and we need the ref interviews. I think that would be a great enhancement to the game.
I've always wanted ref post game presser.
Yeah,
Get up,
especially
get
after
up
like
on
a
the mic.
super bad call.
Yeah, why not? I
Be
think I
awesome.
think it makes a ton of sense.
They're probably worried about their safety. Like, we got to get these guys out of here.
Yeah, ASAP. Also, I saw a clip of a NCAA baseball game, and it was the weather was so bad. It was in the ninth inning. Vanderbilt was playing. The fog had covered the entire field. You could not see anything. So they show the view from the outfield looking at home plate. You cannot see the pitcher. And then they switch camera angles. Now from behind the catcher, you cannot see the outfield at all. And it's the ninth inning, and Vanderbilt's down. And this guy hits a nuke, and nobody knows where the ball went. To this day, they have not figured out where the ball went. The outfielder was like, no clue. And based on the launch angle and the exit velocity, the announcers, they were like, that's a home run. There's no way it wasn't a home run. So the guy rounds the bases because nobody can find the ball. They take the lead, and the umpire goes and reviews it, comes back and says, we're ruling a ground rule double,
Oh,
and we'll resume play tomorrow. Just totally
that's
shafted these
bullshit.
guys
Yeah,
just because they couldn't see the ball. You don't know where it went.
that's insane.
Yeah.
Damn. I mean, yeah, because what if it was foul ball? It probably wasn't. Probably dead
Oh, it
center or
was like
something.
dead center.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
It's
like,
like, oh, it's foul.
yeah.
Proven until, yeah, I guess. That's wild. The fact that they let him take a swing with the fog
That's what
that
I'm
bad.
thinking.
You
That's where
should
you fucked up.
kill somebody. Yeah.
Yeah. He was like, oh, let's just get this over with. Let's just get out of here. And then that guy hits that, and he's like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
What do we do now?
That's crazy. I didn't see that. I
Yeah.
gotta look that clip up.
Yeah, it's fun. And then to stay on baseball, are you familiar with the Mizorowski?
Yeah.
Okay. He just set a few records, all the same record. He just kept like breaking it, but he was throwing for a starting pitcher, he has now thrown the fastest pitch. And basically, once you get that record, you get all 10 spots in the top 10, right? Because you just
Right.
throw faster. But he usually you see this from like relievers. They're throwing like 103. He's doing it as a starter for multiple innings. And yeah, he's the new Randy Johnson. Like he's
Damn.
just a unit.
Just straight heat out the gate too. Not even a
Heat.
reliever.
Yeah, it's so fun to like watch it just come out of his hand. And the batters are always like, "What the fuck was that?"
Yeah. That's crazy.
Isn't
What's the
they're like, "Is
new
that
record
legal?"
now?
Uh, so his was like 103.4, I think, somewhere around there. Which like Aroldis Chapman has the record for like 105, but just a closer. Just come in, throw as hard as you can. And yeah. So
He'll
watch
probably
out for the
break it.
Miz.
Yeah. Miz.
Joe, before we started the show, you started to tell me about your Costco fiasco, and I've got very close ties to Costco. Stepdad's worked there for over 40 years now, so I want to hear you vent about it.
Yeah, no, not a fiasco. I'm a Costco. We were talking about it. I'm a Costco respecter. I actually need to talk to your stepdad now after thinking about it. I had an inside source this whole time. But so growing up, there was a Costco kind of near us. We go to Costco. I'm a Costco hot dog, you know, enthusiast. I think most people are. But I've been on the Costco dogs for I don't know 20 years. I've been on the I'm a savant at this point. So the Costco hot dog buns where I grew up was part of the reason they were so good to me. They have like this cornmeal textured thing on it, right? It's totally different than the Costco hot dogs I've had here in Arizona or everywhere else I've lived. I've never been able to find the cornmeal bun that comes in the Lewiston, Idaho Costco hot dog. So I've asked every Costco I've ever been to, I said, where can I find these buns? What's wrong with these? These sesame buns aren't cutting it. They're not as good. So nobody has a good answer for me. Nobody ever has anything. It's like, oh, these are our buns. Like, fuck out of here. Like I'm making hot dogs at Costco. Fuck you with your buns. I took it into my own hands. I emailed Costco corporate just to get some answers because it seems like a reasonable thing. Like, hey, these buns are really good. I want to know where can I buy these buns?
You went
I'll
straight to
buy
the top.
I'll buy the buns, buy a bunch of dogs, and then put them in myself. I'm not concerned about that. I just want to know where to get the buns. I found out the Costco sources their buns locally. So depending on where you're at in the country, the hot dog buns are going to be different. They're local buns, no matter where you're at. So that's the fun fact. I'm out of luck here. It's a novelty item for me. But yeah, if you've ever wondered, I'm sure a lot of people out there think about their
So
buns and the
many.
Costco hot dogs. But yeah, they're locally sourced, and I'm in constant communication. It's been about 2 years since I've reached back out, but yeah, maybe I'll get those buns one day.
I don't think I've ever emailed a company in
Yeah, I
my
hadn't
entire
either. That's
life.
that's the only time I've maybe like a couple times to get like a refund or something, customer
Yeah, yeah.
support. But like this one, it was that important to me. I was like, I where's the cornmeal at? Where can I get these fucking? Because they're gas. I mean, the Costco hot dog buns are that good.
And they got back to you, which is great.
Yeah, they
I mean,
emailed back. Yeah,
Costco.
it's like, hey, thank you so much. Because I was really nice. I was like, I've been a member for 10 years at your establishment ever since I was 18. Like I bought a Costco membership first thing. I love your stock. Like you run a great fucking operation, but like, hey, I have a question. And they were like, hey, thanks so much for the great email. Appreciate it. Yeah. I tried to find it like a couple months ago because I was thinking about it, but it was on an old email address. So I can't find it. I wish I had that exchange. Shout out to whoever the guy was that emailed me back though. Really nice guy.
Yeah, you wouldn't get that same service over at Scams Club.
Fuck no. No. Yeah. We don't do scams club around here.
Well, Joe, let's hop in to some playoff talk. All right. NBA playoffs. Today, the Knicks, they went nuclear. They swept the 76ers. And I think 76ers may have blown their load
Yep.
against the Celtics.
It was a Super Bowl.
All-time series. Game 7, right? And that's the team they wanted to beat. And then they just came out, looked like shit against the Knicks. And The Knicks, I think we talked about already, but they seem like they're destined for the championship, to probably go get smoked by the Thunder. But today they set a record, or tied a record, I should say. They had 11 made 3-pointers in the first quarter, which is just, if you do that, you're going to win a lot of games. And I mean, that's 33 points right there. We're not even talking free throws and layups.
Yeah, it's disgusting. I think the Knicks, that they also set a bunch of records when they were up whatever 100 in that other game against the Hawks. So
Yeah.
they're just on a warpath, and I think New York fans, that's a fun, like that's a good fan base to have it keep going. Philly or New York would have been fun, but the Knicks fan base is next level. And we get Timmy, we get Chalamet. He's still rocking. Like when they
Mm-hmm.
showed all the fans at the last game I watched, there was, it's all star-studded cast. It's good for the sport, I think, when you get a New York team going deep. So the NBA Finals will be pretty fun with the Thunder and Knicks.
Yeah. Which we may come back to that clip, and neither of those teams even get in.
No.
There's a chance that might not age well, but I think the odds are in our favor. And yeah, they're the perfect team to get swept in the finals or something, and just get their hopes up so much as New York fans, and then just get buried, because that's what happens.
Yep. Yeah, no, they look good though. I mean, 144 points in a playoff game is disgusting.
Oh yeah, and as somebody that bet the live under, yeah, that was terrible, because I was like, this is a blowout. So I was like, at some point they're gonna stop scoring, and just never did. Just never did.
Bad.
And speaking of Knicks fans, I don't know, did you see Action Bronson on
Pat
Pat
McAfee.
McAfee?
It's just I saw a bunch
People
of
are
tweets. Was like,
claiming,
this is the
yeah,
highest the human's ever been on national TV.
yes, dude. Yeah, he did not open his eyes
No,
once.
no.
No, I respect Pat for he just lets it go,
Oh
right?
yeah.
He's just like, yeah, here we go. I'm gonna enjoy this just as much as the fans are.
You kind of know what you're getting with Action Bronson too. Like that's kind of he's been that dude. He does it
On brand.
on his IG all the time, where he's just like ripping dabs, cooking delicious food, doing that weird swing thing he does with the big like club and the kettlebell.
Yeah. Yeah. He loves to get after it, workouts, loves to eat. He's a pretty fascinating guy. Doesn't have like too many bangers of songs. Like, I don't even think of him as a rapper.
No.
He's just kind of a personality out there. But
Yep.
fun guy, Knicks fan. After that, we have on the East side, we still have Pistons, Cavs. I think this series is going to be deep, possibly game 7. Feels like that. And then Thunder, they're probably going to sweep the Lakers,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like on the West side. So we're going to get 2 sweeps, and then we're going to get 2 competitive series. I have a friend, I was just talking to him 2 days ago. He lives in Oklahoma City. He said the town is getting nothing done. He said everybody is so into these playoffs. It's the only show in town. It's all they care about. And he's like, everybody I talk to, he works in finance, managing people, whatever. He said everybody is just, hey, hit me up after the playoffs are over. Like, we don't have time to deal with this right now. So nobody's working. And I do love their home crowd. Their home crowd, I think it's the best in the NBA.
Yeah.
And part of that is just they don't have anything else. So they pack that thing in every time. And like we talked about earlier, they've got first round picks still. They are the best team. We may be looking at a serious dynasty in the making.
Yeah. No, I think so too. That's fun though. I like that they care. It's kind of the worst when a team wins, then it's like, all right, who gives a fuck kind of thing. But I feel like the Thunder fans, like you said, that's why I want the Knicks Thunder, because I feel like it'd be a fun fan base matchup.
Yeah, and like polar opposites too.
Polar
Like somebody from New York versus somebody in Oklahoma City. It's just, those are not the same guy.
No. And it's kind of like, newer franchise, like not as much history as the Knicks, and the Knicks, Madison Square Garden. So you get the whole old and new school type thing. Like, yeah, it's the perfect. I don't think anybody else wants another matchup, because the Spurs and the Timberwolves are fun. Like, don't get us wrong, we like Wemby, right? I love Ant, but he's kind of hurt. Like,
Yeah.
it just wouldn't be as fun of a matchup as the Thunder would. And I definitely don't want to see the Pistons or Cavs because, I mean, kind of yuck. But James Harden went off in that last game, scored like the last,
Finally.
I know, 10 buckets. That was fun. But he doesn't give a fuck. Like, you watch him, he was going nuclear. He hit that huge three, and then he's just on the bench, and he's like, all right, is my shift done yet?
Yeah. Um, yeah, and it's sad also to see LeBron like try as hard as he can against the Thunder,
He needs
and
some help, man.
he's just done, and I don't know. I think he's probably gonna do it for one more year. I
Yeah.
don't know if he's gonna leave or not, but even like with us talking about the different fans and like seeing Oklahoma City cares, LA is one of those teams when they win a championship.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, guys, you already have the best fucking weather. You guys
Right.
already have like, yeah, you really don't care that much.
No.
Your life goes on. So yeah, who cares? And maybe Braun goes somewhere else next year and we can root for that team.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the game right now, Timberwolves Spurs, looks like Timberwolves going to get it done. But I had a question for you because Wemby got ejected early,
Yeah.
which was
Yeah.
sick. Yeah, I love to see that a little bit, but I didn't love to see it because I bet on his, points, his combo.
Mm.
So do I get that? Does it count as an injury or is that like a self-inflicted ejection? I probably lost the bet, huh?
I'm thinking it's gonna be a loss.
Yeah.
Like if it was an injury, you get your money back if it's in the first half.
Right.
I think if the guy actually goes out there and elbows someone in the
Yeah, it's a
throat,
bullshit call.
yeah, and I'm sure everybody will have seen it by the time this pod's out. But Wemby, he threw the nastiest elbow to the throat I've seen in a while. I mean,
Yep.
we didn't even get a strike that good on the entire UFC card that
No.
happened last night. And even his teammates, they like zoom in on Dylan Harper's face in the clip, and he is absolutely shocked that Wemby did that. And they're talking about right now, while this game is still happening, they're talking about him possibly being suspended for one
Mm.
game.
Yeah, I mean, those
On
elbows are
top.
sharp as shit. It's like weapons, he's so bony and long that's a lethal weapon he threw it at the throat.
That's what I was thinking. As soon as I saw it, I was like, we got to get this guy in the fucking cage.
Yeah.
This guy is lethal.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
mean,
it's a
his
3-point game.
upper arm is as long as my fucking leg.
Oh,
All right. And then we move on to hockey, NHL playoffs. Joe, I'm going to let you take it from here.
yep. Hey, your Hurricanes, Mo's Hurricanes. If you watch the game, anybody out there, the sideline reporter threw in probably 16 different weather-related, you know, jokes right before. He's like, it's a category 3, but it's ramping up to a category 4. Just unstoppable that guy was on the sideline. So good to hear from him. I don't remember his name, sideline reporter, but he was ripping him off. But yeah, I mean, 2 sweeps in a row. Haven't lost a game in the playoffs, 4-4. So your call on the Canes is looking great. They are nasty.
Their defense is so good. I feel like if they get up a goal, it's just it feels like it's over.
Yeah.
The defense is just so tight. Don't really make any mistakes when they're out there. And I hope that we get your Avalanche in the finals against the Canes, because to me it feels like almost very different styles, where like Avalanche, they can just go off and high octane, they'll get into shootouts, and then the Canes, they're like, we're gonna bury you and lock it down. So I think it would be such a fun matchup for the finals.
Yeah. No, I think so too. I'm looking forward to kind of how it's going to play out. I just don't see the Canadiens or the Sabres knocking off the Hurricanes because they're nasty. But if we do get Montreal, it's another Canada making it to the semis and then heartbreaking fashion losing. So I have a feeling if anything's going to play out, that's how it's going to play out. But then, yeah, we got the Golden Knights and the Ducks on the other side. I think the Avalanche, that game, it was the Wild kind of stole it. Like they kind of bodied them score wise, but it was at home. I think the Avalanche still have that series under control. But this Ducks Golden Knights series is awesome. I think that's gonna probably go 7. It'll be close. Hopefully the Knights can go up 3-1. That'd be huge. Go back home, try to close it out. But yeah, I feel like it's the storyline in the NHL right now is a crash course with Colorado and Carolina.
Do you think, though, if you had to throw a third team in the mix, who do you think that would be? And is it the Knights?
Yeah, I think the Knights they're cheeky enough, they might be able to get it done. I feel like it's a little like chaotic, maybe. I don't know. That's the best way. Like with that first, when you watch the goal, I don't know hockey that well, but when you
You
watch
don't know
no,
puck.
I don't know puck. I'm super casual, but when you watch like the Knights and the Ducks game, it was just like chaos. Like the first couple minutes, it was just pure chaos. The puck was not in possession of anybody. Everybody's just flying around. It's really fun to watch, but it just doesn't. When you watch the Avalanche or the Hurricanes, it's like they kind of control the game the whole time. And for the
Yeah.
Knights, it doesn't feel like they have that control maybe. So I don't know. I mean, I got my shirt on. I need them to cash a bet for me. They've been old reliable. I did have a story. I think I've told you this story. I've probably told it on this podcast like 10 times, but the Golden Knights, were there our first season or their first season. We were there in Vegas. So we saw like the birth of the Knights, and it was that same year the shooting happened in Vegas, that big country music shooting. So like everybody kind of rallied around the Knights. They made that crazy run. So I feel like they kind of earned the city's love like right away that first year. But I'll always love the Knights because that first year I went to a game with our boy Zach. He's been on the show, and we went against each other in like a cup stacking competition. And I apologize if I told the story a million times, but we stacked cups against each other. The winner got a watch, and it was like a $8,000 watch. So we were stacking cups against each other. And beforehand, we're like, hey, we'll split whatever the prize is. And we didn't know what it was. And we get up there and like, oh, it's whatever kind of watch it was. And we're like, holy shit, like this is sick. Like we're about to make like $4,000 no matter what. So I dusted him anyway, naturally just killed him in this cup stacking from my middle school cup stacking days. Got the watch, won the watch, went to the dealership, to the jeweler to trade it in, sold the watch. And then that was a big chunk of my wife's engagement ring back then. So the Knights always have like a special place in my heart just because of that.
That's beautiful.
Thanks, man.
I actually, I thought that story was going to go that you took it to the watch guy, and the watch guy was like, this is worth like 400
Yeah,
bucks.
no,
Like I thought he was going to be like, this thing not worth that much.
we went to the jeweler actually just to get the papers for the watch, like the registration, like shows legit and everything. And the jeweler was pissed because I guess like, yeah, I can't say too much more of how we got into the game. We were hand selected, is all I'll say, and the people that were being picked for the game were, younger folks, and I guess they were supposed to be like older season ticket holders, so that when they come in to get the papers, you buy some more stuff from the jeweler. And I was just like, hey, like, I need the papers. I'm going to give this to my dad. My dad had passed away, like, whatever. So it's a gift for my dad. Turn around, sold on eBay. So it worked out great for us.
Damn. And they never invited you back.
I don't think I'll be in-game entertainment for the Knights anymore. But yeah, I mean, great first season. That was my first NHL game too. So I was like, hockey's fucking sick. Like, this is great.
Oh, and playoff hockey, going to a
Oh.
game too. Like I love the atmosphere, but also I just love how it's cold. I love when you're in there and it makes you it feels different than any other type of sport
Yep.
in that aspect.
Yep.
I've never gotten to sit by the glass though. I want to sit by the
I
glass.
know. Bang on it a little bit.
I want to bang on it. But the tickets, I was looking at the Knights game. It was get-in price for game one of the Ducks was, I think, like $80. Not bad. Not bad at all. But then if you want to sit by the glass, you're talking 19 grand.
I know. Yeah. It's like courtside seats. It gets insane.
Yeah.
But they
Also, how did you get picked for that?
luck of the draw. Luck of the draw.
You lying bastard. You
draw.
knew someone,
No,
bro.
it was luck of the draw. Luck of the draw. Played the fifth. Luck of the draw. It just happened to be my
You said
night.
you knew the night.
Yeah, I knew the night, but he didn't have anything to do with picking the games. Yeah.
Sure. Dude, you're,
Luck of the
you're
draw.
an industry plant.
Just happened to be me versus Zach.
No, you're like that Asian lady that roots for the Chargers. Yeah. Well, that was talking puck.
Yeah.
You got anything else you want to hit before we move to UFC?
No, go Knights 1-1 as we're taping this now. So hopefully the Knights can pull it out and I win some. I did hit on the Knights on Friday. I always, whenever I go out to dinner, I do a pay for dinner bet. You know, it's $25 parlay. Try to make like $150, $200. It hit on Friday. They don't always
Hell
hit, and then you're
yeah.
just down extra on
Yeah.
top of dinner. But
And you're like, this dinner just went from Applebee's to Ruth Chris real fast.
yeah, yeah, but that's a good one. Ah, Ducks scored. All right, 2-1. Fuck. All right, here we go. Can't talk about it anymore. Can't talk about it anymore.
All right. And the T Wolves did just win the game against the Spurs. So that series now tied 2-2. And if Wemby doesn't play the next game, ooh, things are going to get dicey. And that Thunder fan I was talking to, he was like, we do not want to play the Spurs.
Don't want to play Spurs. Yeah, it makes
want to play
sense.
the Wolves. The Spurs, I think, beat them 4 out of 5 games in the regular season. So that's the only hope.
Yep, that makes sense.
But we had UFC 328 yesterday. Absolute banger. 2 championship fights. And the build up to this card, I was talking last week about Strickland. He's saying some crazy stuff. May have even gone too far in some instances. They were talking about shooting each other, pulling up on site. You know, we need a lot of police. We get the fight. It goes the full 5 rounds. Thank God. My biggest bet of the weekend was over 2.5 rounds. And Strickland, man, he made it tough for Hamzat. He was getting up every time he got taken down. And then Hamzat, after the first round, he looked like he was about to quit. He looked so tired and real back and forth. I think a lot of people want to call it a controversial decision, but Strickland gets the upset. Strickland wins the belt. He's now been a title holder twice. And both times that he's won the title, he was bigger than a plus 300 underdog, which has never been done before. So hats off to Strickland. Whether you love him or hate him, the guy can fucking fight. The guy's good for the sport. The guy knows how to sell a fight. And that was my biggest question coming away. One, do you think he won on your scorecard? And then number 2, how do you feel about him and Hamzat after the fight being so lovey-dovey? They were hugging after the whole week talking about, I'm going to shoot you if I see you. And then they're like, yo, you're awesome. Love you, brother.
Yeah. No, as a casual fan, I did think I thought it was kind of controversial. Like I didn't really. It felt like it was a toss up, and I feel like a lot of times with the toss up, they'll go with the reigning champ just because it was pretty close. But I feel like Strickland had like a ton of close jabs where he was just beating the fuck out of Hamzat's face, like over and over and over, these quick little jabs. But with Strickland, every time he kind of like dodges a punch, if the camera's behind him, it looks like he's just getting clocked because his head kind of like moves back. I was like, dude, he's getting pieced up right now. But yeah, it was a fun fight. But I mean, I kind of knew that was going to happen with the glove touching. Like they were kind of like boys before the fight even started. And you said they trained together, right? So I feel like that either goes one of two ways, where they become mortal enemies or like they're just going to sell the fuck out of the fight, which they did. They both got a bag.
Yeah, they did get a bag. And Strickland kind of talked about that too, where he was like, I'm going to sell the fight. Like, this is what I do. I sell tickets. I made Hamzat more money than he's ever made in his entire life. So he can thank me. But it did seem like the bad blood was kind of fake,
Yeah.
which is so weird because if you saw the weigh-in, the ceremonial weigh-in, they do the face-off. Hamzat kicked Strickland in the dick. And Strickland looked very mad and was like, you're a little bitch for that. And then, yeah, I don't know. It's just so weird to me that at the end of the fight, they were both like, yeah, like, I love you. And then he even said on the post-fight press conference, he's like, Hamzat's a great guy.
Right. He's
I'm like, you just called him a Chechen whore for a week.
He's like, I went too
You called
far.
him a goat fucker. Yeah.
I went too far. I'm sorry to my fans. I was just trying to sell the fight. And it's like, all right, well, next time we're not going to believe you. And then the clips will come out and be like, holy shit, like they hate each other.
Yeah. I mean, no, he's one of the best at it
Yeah,
right now in the game, and goes about it a different way than we've seen in the past where, like, McGregor, his trash talk, right? But Strickland just pushes it, I would say, even past the limit. Um, but yeah, the fight was good in my opinion. I know some people didn't like it. I really enjoyed it, and I think Strickland just does such a good job on defense. He's great at avoiding getting taken down, and even when he does get taken down, he gets right back up, and it just tires out these wrestlers. And his striking is very unorthodox and weird, but he also, to your point, right? He looks like he's getting hit, and he's really just not taking any real big shots, and he just frustrates the hell out of people.
yeah, yeah. With the McGregor like feuds in the past, like we're used to seeing, real war after, like real bad blood. So it was kind of funny to just watch him. Like, yeah, all right, we made a fuckload of money. We got all these guys.
Yeah, do you like it or do you hate it when they do that build up and then they end up buddy buddy?
I like the
Because like it was kind of the same thing with McGregor and Mayweather. They
Yeah,
were
it
going
was
after each other,
right.
and then they were both just like, "Hey, we're not really going to hit each other," and we just made so much money.
Yeah, I mean the McGregor stuff, like where they hopped over the cage, the whole bus thing, like that's fun. It's it's great entertainment, but at a certain point, like you don't want it to escalate to where somebody actually does get shot. So it's like I don't know. I go back and forth. I like the silent killers where they're just kind of they don't talk a whole lot and they just destroy people and then walk. Like that's I think that would be way sicker. Like if Strickland just didn't talk and kind of just took it and then like now he's big enough to where I don't think he'll have to pump the fights as much. Obviously, he was big before, but I don't think he can help that though. He's always going to be on the mic. But like a dude that just comes in, and doesn't speak, and then murders people, that'd be kind of equally as sick.
Well, that sounds like Alex Pereira.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, silent killer. I mean, half of that's probably just because
Doesn't know
not
English.
great at English.
Yeah.
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 Turns out he's just like actually a really outgoing guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, we wouldn't know.
They didn't think to ask him.
Yeah. Um, the co-main event was the best fight of the night. It was Josh Van versus Japanese finest Tyro. And Tyro early gets a takedown, and he is a grappling machine. He submits everybody. And I thought the fight was basically going to be over at that point. And Van did a great job of not giving up, and he was just scrambling a bunch. And by the third round, he started just landing nukes, and he's on pace to, I think he's landing more punches in fights than anybody ever has. Max Holloway used to be the standard, and his trajectory is going to shatter what Max Holloway has done. And he's only 24 years old. He's already the champ. So I don't know. And it's crazy too, because he was an underdog going into this fight as the champion. And they just opened up the odds for him to defend his belt the next time, some hypothetical, because we don't know who he's going to face. But both of the names that came out, he's underdog against both of them. But he can't stop winning. Nobody can beat this guy. And he just keeps being the underdog.
Sounds like some value.
That's people's champ right there, because
Yeah.
everybody loves bet on him.
Yep.
And he just keeps making them money. So he's going to be an interesting to watch for a long time. He'll be in the game for a long time. And if you ever hear him talk, he's very, very cocky. He sounds like a 24-year-old kid where he's just like, I'm the fucking man. There's nothing you can do about it.
It's good. Good.
Yeah. And I don't know if you saw this on Twitter or anything, but there was crazy betting odds movement for one of the fights, one of the bigger fights on the card. It was Sean Brady versus Joaquin Buckley, and Sean Brady was minus 180 the entire week. I think he even got up to like minus 215 at one point in the week, but usually about minus 180. About 8 hours, 10 hours before the card started, he flipped to plus 150.
Damn.
And people were like, what the hell's going on? This is suspicious. Seems like an injury came out, right? And people were saying, oh, broken rib, this and that. Someone on Twitter was like, his nephew has been captured by this gang. He's being held
Jesus.
hostage. Like all types of conspiracies coming out. Apparently, they asked Sean Brady backstage. They're like, hey, what the fuck's going on with these betting odds are moving? What do you know about this? He's like, I know nothing about this, but I'll tell you one thing. I'm going to beat the shit out of Joaquin Buckley tonight. So fight stays on. A lot of people thought it was going to get canceled. It goes. And he wasn't lying. He beat the living shit out of Buckley. And it was probably the most dominant fight I've ever seen, because you can get a 10-8 if you have a dominant round, right? Usually the scorecards in a fight, it's like 30-27. This guy won all 3 rounds. He got 30-25 on 2 of the judges' scorecards. I was watching the fight. I said he might get the first ever 30-24. It was that dominant. So I don't know what happened with these betting odds and why they flipped. Nobody knows. I don't know. Very bizarre situation.
Bad inside info or something. Somebody saw him out like drinking at a poker table or something. Like, oh, hammer. Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
like that's like not a. It didn't flip to even either. Like he flipped to the
No, it's a
underdog. Yeah,
huge move.
yeah.
I mean, I was doing the math. It's a 25% move.
Can sharps
which
move the
is
line that
massive.
much or no?
You could. It would just take. It would take a lot of money.
Yeah.
It would take a lot of liquidity. Probably close to like $1 million total.
Maybe somebody just hammered the other side.
Yeah, I don't know. And he was my favorite play of the day. And then I didn't bet it all week because I was like, maybe it'll keep going down and I can get him at a better number than -180. By the time I wanted to bet on the fight on fight day, all of Nevada sports books had taken the fight off completely. They were not offering
cancel
odds
or something.
They got sketched out. They were like, we don't know what's going on. So nobody was offering it. The books that did offer it, they were only offering money line. They weren't even offering any kind of props, total rounds, anything like that. So really weird. And I saw Dana talking about it recently. There was a fight that was getting like fixed essentially. And he went backstage. He asked this guy, he's like, hey, there's a lot of money coming in on you to lose in the first round of this fight. And sports books have gotten integrity notices, all types of things. And the guy was like, I don't know anything about that. Like, I don't have any injuries, nothing like that. He's like, I'm going to beat this guy's ass. So Dana's like, okay. And Dana was talking to his lawyer, everything backstage. So he's like, all right, seems like it's all good. And then Dana said he went and watched the fight and sit in front row. Sure enough, this guy goes down early, gets his back taken, he's fighting the choke, and then gets choked out first round. And like pretty much looked like elementary school grappling. Like it was pretty bad. And Dana said he immediately went backstage, called the FBI.
Damn.
On the spot. Yeah.
Did anything come out of it yet or no?
I haven't seen anything official. It's kind of like disappeared, but I don't know. You know how it goes with the FBI. Right. They like to take the time.
They'll let him fight like 4 more times.
Yeah. Well, they're like, we got to build a case. Yeah.
Damn. Yeah. No, I mean, you'd think it happens more, but the UFC and like it's such a big stage now. I mean, I'm sure lower levels it happens a little bit more with guys not as focused, but now there's so much money and so much attention on the fights. I feel like it'd be hard to. And fighting, you can kind of tell too. Like if guys tossing a fight, you can tell a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where they probably a month or 2 ago they had a fight that also had suspicious betting activity, and they did the same thing where they only offered the money line day of the fight because everybody got sketched out. And then I watched the fight. Guy looked good. And everybody was saying he was going to get knocked out in the second round. That was like what the Twitter conspiracies were. And he did. He got knocked out in the second round. But my problem was he would have got knocked out whether he was throwing or not.
Right.
Like he got absolutely put to sleep.
Right.
I have a hard time believing that as a human, you could just let yourself do that.
Yeah. Yeah, choked out's one thing, but getting knocked the fuck out is totally different.
Lights out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it was the cleanest like punch it landed. It was just so perfect. And he won the first round too. So he was winning the fight.
Right.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Um, also on this card, we had a 43-year-old fight. He has the most wins in UFC history. His name's Jim Miller, and he did it again. He got another finish at the age of 43.
So old for
Absolutely insane.
fighting.
Yeah. Well, like, what are we doing?
That's
Like, I
not
don't even
like Tom Brady
think
playing at
at all.
41. That's like that's a
Yeah.
totally different. Yeah, that's insane.
And still winning, which is just great. So you can't stop,
No.
right? If you're in this
Yeah.
corner, you're like, hey, we got to keep going. We got to make a push for this belt. And he's never been in those conversations. He's not a championship fighter. He's not anywhere like near that. He's just a good, solid fighter.
That's like the PGA Tour guy. I can't remember who said it, but he's like, "Hey, somebody's got to, be the 20th best in the world. Why not me?" That's this guy,
Yeah.
Jim Miller. He's like, "Hey,
Yeah.
somebody's got to be in the middle of the pack, just taking scraps, baby."
Yeah, exactly. I love it. And then the last thing I had from the UFC card was there was a fighter that won. He the first fight of the night, and he proposed to his fiance or to his girlfriend in the octagon. She wasn't even there.
Oh, classic.
Like, what is that?
Yeah. The old virtual Zoom proposal over Peacock, or
Yeah, you're just hoping she's watching. Her stream went out too.
yeah,
Like she can't get.
that sucks. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Maybe you should have thought about flying her out for that one, or that's a weird. Maybe something was going on, but yeah.
Yeah. Why would she
Why would
not
you
be
not? Yeah,
there?
yeah. Why would he make sure that she wasn't there?
Yeah, or maybe he did think she was there,
Right.
and then he's like, wait, she didn't even
She's
show
like,
up.
yeah. It's like, I think I was kidding.
But yeah, that was the UFC event, and now we'll have a few more not as good cards. But the big one coming up is going to be the White House card on the front lawn on Trump's birthday. It's the first time the UFC, I believe, has ever done a Sunday card. You ask yourself, why are they doing it on Sunday? Because it had to be on June 14th.
The pictures from that look ridiculous, by the way. Like they were having some guys take pictures in front of the White House. So I just, yeah, it's gonna look funny. Like I hope it looks sick. It has potential to be like sick, but I'm a little nervous about it.
I think it'll look sick.
Yeah,
And it sounds like they're gonna have like 80,000 um
seats around there.
spots,
Okay,
seats
okay.
for but it's a viewing party. They're not you
Oh,
don't actually get to go like to the fight, I don't
yeah,
think. I
because it's
think you
fucking
just
on
get
the
to
White House
watch it
lawn.
down the street.
Yeah,
Yeah. Which I know Rogan's a little worried. He's like, "Are we sure we should be putting all of the most important, famous, richest people on the lawn of the White
right,
House in the middle of a conflict?"
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just saw the way the lawn's fucking huge. Like I've been to the White House before, just look through the fence or whatever. But like when they're taking the pictures, like that lawn's fucking big. And I kind of knew they weren't going to have fans, obviously. You can't really, pack that out. So I was just picturing like, I don't know why, but like folding chairs, like around the octagon. I
Yeah.
was like, this kind of might look like shit. Like I'm sure they'll do it up better than I'm thinking, but it could look just like hilarious, or it's just going to look crazy with the White House in the background. Like it'll be sick, but
Oh, it's
yeah.
gonna be a spectacle.
Yeah, that's the problem is we're gonna get, just thrashed online where it's like, hey, this is peak like Roman gladiator type shit, where it's just like, hey,
Yeah.
come fight in front of our emperor's house.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's
I
badass,
mean,
but at the same time, you take a step back, you're like, yeah, this is peak bread and circus, baby.
it reminds me Zuckerberg during COVID,
Yeah.
he
It's like let's fight
rented
a
out the
Coliseum.
Apex. He rented out the Apex during one of the UFC fights, so it was just basically a party with all of his
I
friends
know.
watching these
It's
fights go on.
it's like the private concert, but they just have the gladiators come fight. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pumped because I think it will be good. Like it'll be sick. It just the spectacle. I was just imagining like a cut rate wedding, like with the chairs and stuff. I'm sure it's gonna be a little more done up than I'm thinking. But the pictures were just kind of funny.
I like your idea though. I kind of like the idea of just open lawn, bring your own chair. BYOC, bunch of people pulling up,
Yeah,
tailgating.
there's
Can you
just like
imagine?
pickup trucks and the
Pickup trucks parked around the White House lawn. That sounds
yeah,
American
it
to me.
does.
That'd be badass. Grilling dogs, drinking beer, throwing the football
Oh
around, waiting
yeah,
for the fights to
yep,
start.
yeah.
Yeah,
No, it's got potential to be sick. I'm just curious how they do it because the security and everything. It's gonna be it'll be interesting to watch. But hey, it's why we watch, baby.
I heard a rumor that the fighters for their walkout they start in the Oval Office.
That's
They
insanely
would walk
sick.
out
I hope that's true.
from the White House.
That's
Yeah,
so
if
sick.
that's true. Can you imagine like Hamzat just like running out of the White House? Like it would be the craziest
Yeah.
visual.
I think
Yeah.
that's gonna be one of the most memeable. Like we're gonna get so many good memes
Oh yeah.
from the fight. Yeah,
Oh
that's
yeah.
gonna be awesome. I'm
It's also
pumped.
I don't know why they did this matchmaking wise, but there's a couple Americans that are probably going to get killed by some foreigners. Like the main event with Taporia and Gaethje. Taporia is like minus 450
Right.
to win this fight. So we are just sending out an American to go get sacrificed
On the White House lawn.
on the White House
Yeah, they
lawn.
don't let
Yeah.
the foreign guys walk out of the White House. It's only if you're an American
Oh
fighter.
yeah.
You have to come around the back
Yeah.
if you're
You have to hop a
yeah,
fence.
they have a separate entrance. It's just like, all right, here you guys go. You're like, figure it out. It fights at 7. We'll see.
I could also see somebody coming in on like a helicopter making an
Be
entrance because you're
sick.
doing an outdoor event.
Yep.
I could see them flying someone in,
Yep.
which would be nasty.
Yeah. No, it has the potential. It's just the execution, like everybody's talking about. It's like it's just gonna be. I hope the Oval Office stuff happens. Like I hope they do it up to its fullest because it does. Like the White House has that perfect entrance, like the big columns. Like it could be just
Yeah,
nasty.
yeah. I'm excited for it. It's definitely the coolest venue they've done since the Sphere,
Yeah.
which was awesome. So yeah, I'm excited. But Joe, I think we're coming to an end on this episode. So happy Mother's Day again to everyone, even Diana. And yeah, we'll see you guys again next week.
Adios.